is to help you put. It's like a modified big long shoe horn. It helps you get into your shoe. And there's also these clips that have a spring on them that you can grab and take it and put on your sock and then pull your sock up.
Right.
So they actually, it's there are some very innovative products that are out there for patients that can't get down and put their own shoes on.
Yeah, I know you can buy these at some medical device stores that are out in the Chicago area and the suburbs, and probably some drugstores too probably carry them, right?
And you can also order them by mail.
Oh, good. And your podiatrist could probably help you with those too. Let's talk a little bit about sort of winter foot problems that you see. I mean, do you see a lot of injuries from people walking or stumbling on the ice or snow? The ones of the patients that can actually sort of walk. I'm sure you treat a lot of patients that don't walk very well, but
yeah, that's true.
But seniors today want to be independent, and they don't want to be cooped up in their home. Nobody does. So they want to get out, and some of those people, they have some problems, right?
The biggest problem, of course, in the winter is ice. When patients are walking, their foot can slip a little bit, and your foot will automatically compensate for the slipping on the bottom. And what will happen is that you'll strain ligaments and tendons in your feet. Another big problem in the wintertime is that there's not a lot of humidity in the air. So what happens is that your feet naturally perspire. And when you're older, your body can't hold on to the natural moisturizer in your foot. So what happens when your feet perspire in the air that doesn't have much humidity and it gets to your skin, it'll dry your skin out effectively. And what happens is you'll get dry skin on the top of your feet. You also get some dry skin around the back of your heels. Your heels will crack. And once those heels crack, it's very difficult for the skin to actually heal itself, no pun intended. So I usually tell patients, if you want to make sure to maintain your feet in the wintertime, whether you're a senior citizen or you're not a senior citizen, you should put lotion on your feet at night before you go to bed. And if you can tolerate it, wear a pair of socks to bed, because what happens is that when you put the lotion on your skin and you wear a pair of socks to bed, the natural heat and moisture from your foot will go into the sock, and it's like a greenhouse effect. It'll force the moisture to be reabsorbed by your skin. And as you get older, you don't have that wherewithal. Your skin doesn't have that wherewithal to retain its natural moisture, so that just helps you along.
We've got about 5 more minutes left on Feet Forward with Dr. Kirk Contento talking about house calls here, and we certainly welcome your calls. We got about 5 minutes left. Why don't we go over again, in case the people are tuning in a little bit late, about how seniors can find a podiatrist who does do house calls. Talk a little bit about that. How can they find somebody like that?
The easiest way to find a podiatrist who does house calls, first of all, if you have a podiatrist, it wouldn't hurt for you to ask your own podiatrist if they do make house calls. And if they say they don't make house calls, you could probably ask them, well, why don't you? Because I think that it's a good service to go to the patient's home, especially in the winter time. Another even better source is, if your podiatrist does not make house calls, is to call the Illinois Podiatric Medical Association, and they have in their database podiatrists that do make house calls, and they could direct you to somebody in your area who makes house calls and would be more than happy to come into your home and treat any problems you're having with your feet. Or if you have questions about your feet, you don't necessarily have to have a problem. If you have questions about what's going on with your feet and you don't know, you could call and have a podiatrist come in. And again, if you're a Medicare patient, Medicare will cover the doctor coming in to examine your feet and educate you as to what's going on with your feet if you're having problems, or even if you're not having a problem.
And patients don't need to be Medicare eligible to qualify for this. It's open to anybody. It's just that most of your house call patients do tend to be Medicare eligibles, right?
Correct.
Okay, great. And a lot of people are surprised that Medicare does cover this too, right?
It's something that I would say majority of Medicare patients do not even know that house calls are covered through Medicare.
So seniors out there, if you are in doubt about, or if you were hesitating to make an appointment with a podiatrist because you thought that Medicare didn't cover it, this is news to them, right?
It is.
It's a very helpful service. And you can get a referral from the IPMA at the 800 number on your screen. That's 869-3338, or the website, that's www.ipma.net. We got a couple more minutes. Please, we welcome your calls. Dr. Contento, tell me more about the more common sort of foot care problems that you see. Why is it that seniors have so many problems with feet, especially nails and calluses and things like that?
Well, because the reason why citizens have more problem with nails and calluses is because they really can't get down there, as I said before, to trim their nails. Sometimes they can't see that their nails are long. Sometimes they can't see that a corner of a nail is digging into the corner of their skin and they have a nail infection. Sometimes they can't see that their skin is dry. Sometimes they can't see if they have corns and calluses, hard excrescences on the top of their toes and on the bottom of their toes. They can't see it, and the only time they can actually feel it is when they get extremely thick and start holding heat longer than normal skin.
Now, have you actually diagnosed or seen signs of diabetes in patients that had not been diagnosed before?
Yes, I have. In fact, when I normally go in to see a patient initially, I will do the same type of procedures, examinations on a patient, whether they have diabetes or not, to see if they exhibit certain symptoms that a diabetic will have. One of them is called, the most reliable is a Semmes-Weinstein test, where it's a monofilament that you push on certain areas of the foot to see if they already have any nerve damage in their feet. And then if I notice that they do have some kind of problem or a vibratory, I have a tuning fork that I would put on their foot if they don't know the difference between a vibration, and then I will touch them with hot and cold things. If they can't differentiate between hot and cold, I would say, have you ever been tested for diabetes? I said, no, I haven't. Anybody in your family ever have diabetes? No, I haven't. I think you should probably go see your primary care physician and be evaluated. You might have some tendencies toward diabetes.
Great. Okay. Well, thanks a lot. We're going to wrap up this show for now. Next month, we're going to be on talking about pregnancy and foot care problems with Dr. Megan Lowry. So we're looking forward to that. Thanks again for your information. Again, if you have any questions or you want a referral for a podiatrist that will make house calls, go to the IPMA website. That's ipma.net. And we also have an 800 number, 888-869-FEET. Thanks, and we'll see you next month.
Thank you.